I want to build an entire village in my jungle. And what's most important when it comes to building a village? Homes for the villagers to live in. And who wouldn't want to live in a cozy neighborhood in the shade of giant jungle trees, with overgrown cabins and even a beautiful beach house surrounded by the sounds of the waves. So, this is the area where we want to build our village. We are basically going to fill out almost all of the space you can see on the screen right now, with the town hall and the big tree both as centerpieces. So the plan for today is to work our way from the right to the left, starting with a bigger home together, then montages of tiny builds till the middle, where we build another one together, until we've reached the left, where we're gonna build a big beach house on the water together. So let's start with the first one. And I've picked this spot because I really like the vibe of it. We have the beautiful lake over here, and we have a lovely view to the lake. And this is the spot. I left it a little open, I left it a little more sparse for a house to fit in. So let's get started. So for starters, I just made a general shape made of basically 3 different boxes. I want to add some pillars to the edges to give it a nice frame. And oh no, this tree has to go. I'm so sorry, Mr. Tree. I want to fill in the walls with stripped jungle log and texture them with oak actually. And I can also, for more variety, use some normal oak in between, and we have a lot of texture and variety. And in this area, I want to fill in some glass. It's kind of like a winter garden area to sit and watch the lovely scenery. Yeah, pretty. Well, let's top this one off with spruce for now. And then let's make a little frame on the next level. And now at the top I would add just a little bit more of the pillars, but I'm only gonna do the square in the middle here. So and now before we go over to working on windows and details and whatnot, we want to make a roof. So I'm gonna make like a stair moment going up like this. Then I also want to add something like this to the bottom. And I'm gonna add a roof like this on the top as well. Now I also want to add a roof on the side here, on this part, like this. And then I will add some logs to the top. Then I add some spruce stairs on the edges. And then I also add some trapdoors every second block. And then to make the roof more textured, because that's just one single color, I am gonna use birch and sandstone, and I'm making little patches like this. And guys, I can hear the mobs growling. I think why? I think I know why. Yep, I know why. So now we obviously want to add some windows. We could add some holes in here. And I would like to frame them. Oh goodness, Mr. Spider. Oh no, we have a spider on the ceiling. Josh, can you remove the spider from the ceiling, please? Oh goodness, no. And that's a way to frame it, but underneath it's not framed. So for this problem we could use something like that, and then we would have to do the same on top. But as you see, it leaves a dark mark on everything. It's just very thick. So to make it stand out a little less, we could use these fellas. And then at the bottom, maybe something like this. Add some trapdoors. And then we could put some flowers in it. Maybe not too many of the same. And then to make sure nobody gets in and out, we can cover it with glass from the inside. And actually I found a nice way to make it look cool with the windows. So basically the thing is I've removed the whole line up here. I textured in between dark oak planks and spruce wood, and then I place some oak signs on top of it. This gives this cool striped aesthetic that I really like. And there we have windows, voila, cute. And now I almost forgot about it, but I need to texture the roofs from below so they look like they're actually straw roofs, because that's what they're supposed to be. I'm also thinking about adding hanging roofs. I don't hate it. So this place calls for a balcony, I'd say. So I'm just gonna use some jungle fence because it matches with the hanging roofs that I decided to use. And I'm gonna place some bamboo trapdoors on top to outline it a bit. And in these corners, I want to make the pillar just go a little bit longer because that looks better. And the house is finished. This is what it looks like from this side and from this side. And let's just quickly check out the interior I did off camera. So we go into here. Ooh. Cozy pink benches to chill. This is like a living room, but also like a greenhouse area. Very cozy to hang out and sip some chai. This is a 3D model. This is basically on a armor stand that I made invisible using a plugin. So yeah. That's why it's on a half step, and it's a 3D model that I made with Blockbench. So we have a parrot and a cat in there because if I want to have villagers, I don't want them to accidentally walk in here. So that's why that's going on. Then we have the kitchen with some hot soup, some tools hanging from here, something to eat. And then we have the bathroom. When we go upstairs, we have a bedroom, we have a balcony, also with some yummies that I made with Blockbench. And then we have a little attic area for storage and another bedroom for the children because there is a bunk bed, woo, and something to make homework on, obviously. So yeah, that's basically the house. It's next to my skeleton farm that I used when it was still survival. And let's fly up and look at the place. So, I mean, not much has changed. We've built one house, and the plan is that we're building 3 houses in detail. This was the first one we've built in detail, and the second one is going to be over there, at kind of in the middle of the map. And the last one is going to be on the beach, like a cool little beach house. Is going to be the last thing of the video we're going to do. So, until we reach that house in the middle, we are going to do a couple replays of houses building up until then. Yeah, so relax and enjoy the montage. We came quite far, so we wanted to build the 3 houses together and have like the other ones in between as little replays. So the first one we built together is at the right over there. The second one that we want to build now is kind of in the middle, kind of on the left over there, because next to it there is this custom bamboo forest that I made, and I wanted to build one together over there because I feel like it's a nice cozy vibe to build in. And then the last one is the absolute furthest on the left, and it is a beach house in the water, which we're gonna do together as the last thing of the video, as I already mentioned in the beginning. So let's just get started by flying over here to our second build that we do together. To start with, we might need to figure out what block palette we want for the walls. So if I look at the builds nearby, I do notice that there's not too much dark oak, so I'm gonna put some dark oak in here. So I made this 5 blocks wide for now, and you might wonder, that is not dark oak, that is spruce. Yes, I know. I personally love to combine spruce with dark oak because yeah, that is literally the same color. Come on. So now we want to go to the top and add some circles around it. The first circle is gonna be 2 blocks wider than this one, and we're gonna make it out of mud because the first house we built with the bamboo roof. So the second one is obviously gonna be a mud one because I did a couple of these mud ones as well for variation, because if every roof looks the same, that's kind of lame, isn't it? And then all I'm gonna do is basically always go 1 whole step higher until I reached, I'd say, this point, and then I'm gonna go a little bit higher and I make the same thing on top, just a bit tinier. So to texture these, I picked out jungle slabs as a lighter color than the mud brick, oak slabs as the brightest color, and to shade a little bit, I want to go with waxed exposed cut copper. Well, it was a longer name back then, but it's still a long name. It's not necessarily shadow, but it's like, I feel like it goes more in a warm direction here and it goes more in a cold direction here, and I really like that effect because at the end it's gonna look like this. Now to decorate the underside of the roof, I want to place some hanging roots and also some mud to give it more depth and make it look a little hangy, and some jungle trapdoors to do the exact same, just not as intense. So now for the windows, I had the following idea. So I wanted to punch my way in here, and over here I want to add some bamboo. So I'm going to frame the windows with bamboo because I can use scaffolding at the bottom, and then I can frame it with some trapdoors. Then I'm going to place another of these windows underneath. And to split up the windows, I'm going to put some of these in between. Ooh. Now that I made these on all the other sides, it kind of happened that on one side it looks like this. It's not really going down. Like on the other ones it's going totally down. But here the terrain is a little higher, so I thought that might be the perfect place for the door. And to make the door look a little better, we can place some trapdoors over here. And then it looks like this. So now I had the brilliant idea to add some balconies to the sides here. Since this is a second floor and it looks kind of like a, I don't know, gives me like hotel kind of vibes, or like two-family home or whatnot, so we want to have some balconies around the corners. To give them a railing, I have to place some scaffold blocks here and frame the outside with trapdoors. That unfortunately does not perfectly work in these parts, but I also have a solution for that, because I can just go in from the inside and we have a perfect railing. Now it still kind of doesn't really make sense because it's not getting held by anything. So I had the idea of making some columns to hold the balcony. So now to make it not all just a big blob of dark oak, I decided to make the dark oak more of an accent color, like these columns over here. So these walls, for example, I'm gonna keep these. I'm gonna destroy these ones and replace them with jungle and oak in a textured pattern, which already helps a lot with the shape. And then I'm gonna go ahead and replace these signs that I placed so lovely. Well, I have to replace them again, some jungle ones. So, and to make the thing look even less plain and give it more of a shape, we can just remove a couple of these here and place some upside down stairs and some normal stairs here to have this fun little pattern, and I love that. And on the columns I could do the same, but like at different heights to keep it more interesting. So I'm gonna do it next to the windows. That might be too much. Just down there? I think I like it down there. And as a last little detail, I want to add some trapdoors to the bottom. And then we can add some doors here to be able to access the balcony. So now that we're finished with the exterior, I also made an interior. Ooh. I got the vibe of a hotel from the exterior, so I went for not a hotel because it's too tiny. I went for like a multiple family home. So basically we have 4 apartments. They are very small, only 1 room per apartment. Here you can ring the bell. Ding dong. Oh, the door opens. Whoo! So this is the first room. The kitchen, a bed, and something to eat, and we have a bathroom. Then we have a pink apartment with a little kitty, a pink kitchen, and a pink bathroom. Upstairs we have a yellow apartment, very warm and inviting, also with a bathroom, with a tiny half bathtub, half shower thing, because not very spacious, but it works. And also we have the balconies at the top here. Ooh. And the last apartment is in mangrove red and with green accents. And then we have, a lovely view of this bamboo jungle from the balcony. We have also a tiny little bathroom. So yeah, now that we have that, the second build of the 3 builds we wanted to work on is done. So now there's only 1 build left we're gonna build together for the end of the video, but until then, let's watch me fill in the rest of all of these tiny houses to make a beautiful filled town. So for this one I decided to not just do music and whatnot, because we don't want to be boring. For this one I decided you could hear my lovely monologue. And yeah, all I wanted to say is that you can barely see all of the houses, especially in this clip. Like I had another clip from the top as well, but like you were able to see a lot of them because they were like mostly in like air holes. It was like in the bamboo forest where I destroyed a couple bamboo, but I didn't want to destroy the trees. So for this one you can really barely see that I actually built houses, but I did, I promise. They're just mainly covered by the trees. It's mainly like in between the town hall and the beach, But yeah, things happen, don't worry. So if you obviously want to see that world in like full detail, you have to stay around till the end to see like the replays of the builds. But also I will make a download at some point, a world download. But yeah, I will only do that when the world is finished. And then I will also build some interiors for these, so you can explore each and every house and they will all be furnished. Alrighty! Now as you see, the whole village is finished. Not the full village, obviously. We still want to add some shops in my future videos. But in this video, we're gonna build the last big old build. And it's gonna be at the left, the beach house that we've been all waiting for. So yeah, let's just get down there and start building our beach house. So this is the place. And here we have a blue line that I made just to roughly mark where I want to build the building. So let's use our little wool to plan out a bit more what kind of shape we want to go for. I'd say that's quite an interesting shape, so let's fill it in with our floor color. What is our floor color gonna be? I think I want to go for a very light color like birch, because our walls are gonna be quite dark. So now I'd like to replace the edges with spruce logs for a good reason. That is making these cute little columns down here that I'm using mud for to make it go slimmer. And I feel like mud goes really well with spruce, if you ask me. I feel like this needs to be way higher up to get the feeling that I want to feel. So I just decided to go up a bit, and yeah, I mean, I have my dear friend SpongeBob. Oh, wer wohnt denn da, Anna? Das ganz liebe Meer. SpongeBob Schwammkopf, gib uns Saugstock und hol uns zwar sehr. Goodness, this is not working. This is not working. It's not working. It's not working. Water. Air. That worked. Kind of. SpongeBob. Square paints. Lovely. Now I want to surround everything with fences, actually. Now we want to make sure we are able to get up here. So I was thinking of making a cool little staircase that basically goes down like this. So you can kind of see these spaces in between. That looks cool, like it has that kind of vibe. Like so, and then I need something to frame it. So I would just say, let's do it like this. So they also hold together, don't fall apart. Maybe I can add signs here to make it a little... That's cool, yeah, that's a special staircase and it looks very beachy. And then up here we want to make like the general build itself. Like over here in this corner, I'd like to have some pillars to hold a roof. Let's use mud for that kind of roof. So this is like kind of an outside area to chill and drink some tea or something, very cozy. And then I want to have the main building, obviously. So for that we want to go ahead and plan something as well. I think that's the general shape I want to go with. So now I want to give the edges some columns, obviously varying in texture a little bit. And then I'm gonna fill in the rest with some spruce and dark oak to make a dark contrast. So that's kind of the shape I want to go for. I want to have some roofs on here, here, and here. I'm kind of looking at a reference right now of a painting that I really liked. And I'm trying to go for a similar vibe, but not 100% copy it. So yeah, let's just make a roof on this baby and see if that looks good then. So that's the shape of the roof, and let's texture. So now I'm just adding stairs, trapdoors, and hanging roots to jazz up the bottom here. And at the bottom here, I would like to remove these bits and fill in some stairs and some trapdoors to have like this lovely little arch. You know what? I like it. And I actually kind of want to do that too with these columns here, like adding some stairs at the top, connect them with some trapdoors. Alright, I already like this a lot. Let's go over to doing some windows or doors. I mean, we need to make an entrance first. And I'd say over here to the balcony, we also want a door. Hello, Mr. Enderman. I guess already someone moved here. And I see there's a hole in the roof. How did that happen? Oh, that's how it happened. That is quite a lame door, but we can make it interesting. I'm sure I'll find a way. Let's do like And then we use some glass. I was thinking, I always use the green glass because, you know, the jungle is behind it. It looks like the jungle's reflected. But for this house, I mean, the reference I use, they have cyan colored glass. So I kind of want to do the idea. I feel bad for stealing every element, but it fits so well. Moving on to the windows that we wanted to work on, I'd say we can put one in here. And then we could make another one on top of it. I don't know if that looks good or if we should move them closer together. I'd say we give it the round frame that I gave for the door. I kind of want to put a window here, but that would be a mouth. How about, yeah. Why do I hear, oh. One thing I just thought about is maybe giving it a balcony over here. I think though that the fence color just doesn't stand out enough. I think that is better. Now I'm kind of questioning replacing all of these fences with jungle. Oh yes, I like that so much better. There is one thing though I'm like debating. I think I can make these things in more curved by adding some trapdoors on top of them. We can also just hang lanterns onto these. I think that gives a better shape. And the last little detail I want to add before we do a little tour of the place and before I do the interior, I want to add some lights by using campfires, kind of like torches on the wall. I think that's cool. I think that gives a really cozy and vibey vibe. And the beach house is finished. Don't mind these guys. So let's go inside. So when we enter the first door, we arrive in the dining area. Next to the dining area, we have a little kitchen, and there is another door that leads over to a little office. And if you leave the office, you have this lovely balcony area with some tasty cake. Oops. If you then go upstairs, you see this little corridor, and on one side you can go into the bathroom with this lovely cute little doggo next to the toilet, and we have toilet paper as well, very important, very important. And yeah, I can take a little bath here with my doggo. Now we're going over to the other door, which is the living room. Ooh, very warm and cozy with the wooden colors. It also has the balcony here with the lovely view. And then we have a master bedroom and a children's bedroom with some toys and a ladder that leads up to the bed. And this is what the finished town now looks like from above. Obviously it's not fully finished, so in my future videos you can see me build some shops over there and like cute little places for the villagers to get their money from or their food. To end up this video, let me show you the other tiny houses in a little montage. So now we are finally finished with all of the homes. I wish I could show you all of the houses in detail, but that will have to wait for you guys to get the world download as soon as it's all finished. And I've put cute little shops and after I gave the place like the final touch. But I'm very happy with what we have now and what we achieved this episode. And I can't wait to see you guys again in the next video. Have a lovely evening, morning, or night, and bye-bye!